You son of a bitch, what's a pencil pusher like you watching a video like this? There's nothing manlier than this movie. Thank you to everybody who's watching the last couple movies on this channel. I have been trying to get more out, but it's been pretty hard work and life and all that bullshit. So cracking on with this week of Why Did My Dad Show Me This? I'm looking at the 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger horror sci-fi classic Predator. This iconic film sparked an entire franchise with some great movies and some not so great ones, but remember to like, comment and subscribe, otherwise I'll kill the family dog. Cigar smoking, minigun shooting and iconic handshakes. Like every great 80s action movie, this has a simple but incredibly well thought out plot. Grizzled mercenary Dutch, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and his team have been hired by the CIA to perform a Black Ops rescue mission inside the Guatemalan borders, where things don't exactly go for the plan. Upon arrival in the Guatemalan jungle, the team sneak from bush to bush, finding a downed helicopter suspended in vines. Stereotypical Billy, the Native American tracker member of the group, leads them to an enemy camp. Dutch, using his binoculars, witnesses a hostage being executed. The team army crawls down the hill in a hilarious way, beginning to unleash chaos on the enemy camp, exploding everything, and I mean literally everything, leaving no survivors other than a woman. Dylan, Carl Weathers' character, insists on keeping to interrogate. Unable to get an exfil from the destroyed camp, enemy reinforcements on their way, Dutch and the team have to traverse through a dangerous valley. Things start to go wrong when the team begins to be stalked by a mysterious creature watching them from the trees. Early in the movie, they find the previous Special Forces team skinned alive and hung up for display. Dutch and his team assume that it's the rebels that have done this and not an alien or whatever, you know. The film does an incredible job at blending genres between the war and the sci-fi genres, building up enormous blokes into unstoppable tactical killing machines as per 80s action movies, only to have them ultimately knocked off that pedestal in brutal and disappointing way. The CIA liaison is an old friend of Dutch called Dylan, played by the late Carl Weathers. He joined the CIA and is noticeably not as sharp on his covert skills as the other members of the squad. Something is off from the get-go though. At the beginning of the movie, Dylan asks Dutch why his team didn't help out in Libya, and Dutch responds, "We are a rescue team, not assassins." After destroying the camp, Dutch realizes that he and his team have just been used to destroy the base that's being used as a forward operating base planning for an invasion of a neighboring country. I love the moment when Dutch and Billy are staring up at the trees, unsure if something is there, but the native feels it. He knows that something's up, while the Predator just looks back with his heat vision, and I don't think it's the best effect, but it totally does the job. And to be honest, it's 1987 and it looks great. It holds up, you know exactly what you're looking at. So the bitch they capture keeps trying to get away, which gets the eye of the Predator. Hawkins, one of the guys in the squad, chases after her, only to get fucked up by the invisible Predator as soon as he catches her, leaving the woman in complete shock and covered in his blood. The scream alerts the rest of the squad, which eventually catch up, only to find a pile of organs behind, and a very confused Dutch orders them to search for Hawkins' body. The minigun in this movie is called Painless, which is used by the character of Blaine, which I think is one of the coolest things in the entire world. But I just had the thought that if this was a modern day movie, they would have called the minigun fucking, I don't know, Sourpuss or something. No, it wouldn't even been that cool. Something really stupid. Anyway, do you think it would have had the same reaction, or is it because of the style of the movie, how 80s it is, how macho-ness about this movie, and just how it wouldn't be made because of the masculinity? It doesn't look like Andrew Tate or any other twat on the internet. It looks like 80s action, unfiltered action, sexy, greased up, roided up, but honorable badass monsters that are the definition of unachievable. It's about karate kicks, under-barrel grenade launchers, the unapologetic raunchiness that still had taste and class. It was the feeling in your goddamn balls that made you feel alive. What happened to that? Because we've lost it. Anyway, the minigunner Blaine, played by Jesse Ventura, gets a fucking laser through the chest, leading to one of the most iconic scenes in the movie when the squad empty most of their ammo into the Guatemalan bush, pretty much hitting nothing. Mac picks up Blaine's minigun and he goes off, hitting the Predator with a bullet that glows his blood all over this leaf, like this luminous green goo. The captured woman ends up wiping some of this green blood on her bag. Finally, we get to see the Predator. He's fixing himself up after being shot in all that carnage. The Predator screams, gaining the attention of Billy the Tracker and Anna. The group is losing it, terrified of what might be out there. Tensions are high. During the night, the Predator breaks through the tripwires and steals Blair's body. Dutch realizes it's using the trees to get around and asks the woman what she saw and to cut the bullshit, and oh, now she speaks English. Funny that. Dutch frees her binds, states that he needs everybody to make a last stand, but Apollo agreed. He wants to get on the helicopter and get the hell out of here. Dutch explains that they'll all be dead before they can even reach the helicopter, and then we have the great line, "If it bleeds, we can kill it." So the squad starts setting up traps like they're in Rambo First Blood, making a perimeter and waiting for the Predators to show up. I love how Mac uses his razor, strangely cutting himself himself while Dylan watches, both sharing an unsettling look towards each other. Don't really know what that means, I just thought it was a fun little thing they put in the movie. Dutch gets a hunch and gets up, only to be surprised by the trap right behind him gets set up, launching the Predator into the air. Chaos ensues. Poncho gets injured pretty bad by a rogue trap. Dylan sees the Predator and fucked up Mac runs off after him. Dylan decides to go after Mac, telling Dutch to get to the chopper. Mac and Dylan watch the Predator, deciding to take it on once and for all. Mac is sneaking around on the ground when he looks up and gets the infamous 3 dots to the arm, and then his stupid ass looks up and gets it to the fucking head. Kaboom! Dylan immediately realizes what's happened, but continues anyway. In a throwaway line, Dutch mentions Anna didn't get killed due to not having a weapon, and that's no sport. Something that has been fleshed out in other Predator media. Dylan shoots the Predator, but he returns by blasting Dylan's arm clean off before stabbing him, raising in the air, showing off the Predator's amazing strength. Hearing Dylan screams, Billy stops on a tree bridge to hold him off the Predator in a heroic decision that ultimately is pretty fucking pointless because he dies immediately. Anyway, Predator starts attacking Arnie, Anna, and the injured Poncho. Dutch screams his most iconic line, "Get to the chopper!" Dutch has to run away, accidentally leaping off a cliff into water, leaving Poncho for dead while Anna runs for the chopper. Dutch washes up on the shore only to be pursued by the Predator, straight away leaping off the cliff himself. Covered in mud, Dutch manages to stay hidden from the Predator, who has a malfunctioning cloaking device due to the water and who can only see through heat vision, so Dutch uses the mud to cool himself down. Dutch believes he has a chance and he starts making traps silently and all by himself this time. We see the Predator performing the iconic skull and spine rip out of the body move on who I assume is Dylan. Anyway, Dutch creates a bow and arrow, very cool, I like that, but also a fire, which I think fire is probably the worst move against an alien with the fucking heat vision, but I think he's trying to disorientate it or whatever, but who am I to say? Anyway, towards the end of the movie, Dutch is pissed off and a killing machine. It's almost the Terminator versus the Predator. A man is complete focus and devotion. It's like John Wick. He lights a torch, screams for the attention of the Predator, screaming his war cry. This is the face-off of the fucking century. Holy shit, this is literally the best movie ever. I love this movie so much. I think it's just like incredible. Using his advantage of the mud, Dutch is able to sneak around the Predator, damaging his cloaking device even more and targeting him with an explosive arrow. Dutch manages to throw one of the explosive tipped arrows like a javelin and blow the Predator out of a tree. After the explosion, Dutch ends up in some water which accidentally washes off his precious mud camouflage. The shot of the Predator picking up a man of Arnie's size is so awesome. I love the Predator unmasking itself in front of Dutch and then screams right at him. We get another awesome fucking line. I love the line. "You're one ugly motherfucker." Gaining a fist fight between the two. Pretty unmatched seeing this extraterrestrial fucking up this war-torn badass. All hope seems to be lost when Dutch lures the Predator into a hole, hoping the Predator will come inside where he's placed loads of traps, but he doesn't. Oh wait, he does, and he's flattened by a fucking log. Dutch is about to finish off the beast with a rock. Beaten, the Predator starts a bomb to explode himself, making Dutch run for his life. Apparently, I've read this, apparently the Predator's bomb radius is like 12 blocks, so Dutch had to sprint faster than any human has ever sprinted before, but, you know, it's a movie about Arnold Schwarzenegger killing some aliens in the woods. Anyway, that's the end. This movie is an incredible action movie that has aged extremely well with a stat class, impressive effects, and memorable lines. I cannot recommend this movie more than I have already. Thank you to everybody who's had a great time, made it to the end. You're having a good Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever day of the week it is. If you could please give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. I know I'm not doing the best at the moment and all this, but I really appreciate everybody who watches these. I know not a lot of people do, but, you know, it's fun for me to do, so I just keep on trucking. Alright, safe, bye.